During my 10, 11 years of working at the Roundhouse, of course, we came across thousands, literally, of young people from all backgrounds who were struggling because they had ideas that they wanted to work with and so on, but no opportunities. And so I slowly built up a feeling that the real tragedy in this country at the moment is that there are 1 million young people between the ages of 16 and 24 who simply don't have any work to do at all. We worked, I suppose now, since the last 8 years or so we've been doing it, we must have worked with over 20,000 young people. Almost to the last one, they're positive, interested, they're tremendous. I think that we have such a terrible idea of young people because a lot of them are neglected, a lot of them haven't been brought up well, a lot of them are part of gang warfare and all the things that go on there. But this isn't the way it has to be. I think that unemployment for young people is a very, very crucial thing, but it seems to have slipped off the political radar. Certainly at the party conference, Tory party conference, I was aware for the others, the only mention of unemployment seemed to be to do with the work that the charities are doing to try and take far harder cases off the unemployment register, of which there are several million. And that is a very tough job, and I believe that the charities involved are finding it a real struggle and may easily lose money on it, and therefore it may easily not work out as intended. Well, first of all, I want to aim it at young people, and everybody knows that young people, after a few months of being unsuccessful in finding a job, start to lose interest in it, and the reason is they're being paid job seekers allowance and other benefits, and the fact is that they have no incentive to go out and do anything. And and anybody loses interest if you try for a job after a job and it doesn't work. So, but I think this is very soluble, and the difference is this, that first of all, the jobs I have in mind are all based in the local community, so they can all be done by a young person living at home. So this means that the training for whatever the job will be is easily available close to home. There are no travelling expenses, there are no difficulties about living away from home and so on. It'll be a much easier thing to operate.
And they'll be working in their own communities as well.
They will be working in their own communities. Secondly, training is absolutely crucial, and in community service, the way it's run at the moment, the training and the supervision are not of a quality on the whole that really produce good results. And I think that if this was organized properly on a national basis, and you could try it in various areas if you wanted to first, I think you would find that the competence of the training and the supervision would improve enormously. And the jobs that they would do would be looking after, caring for old people, for young people. They would pick up litter, they'd plant trees, they'd paint houses that were needed for people to live in, council housing that was sort of sitting there empty, of which there are lots. They would get 101 jobs that were all based on something they could learn easily and that would therefore be easily trained for, and then they would get out and they'd get the benefits of working with other young people, having to be there on time, learn the disciplines of work and the enjoyment of work and the satisfaction of actually doing something. Of course, under my proposal, the job seekers allowance and other benefits would stop after, say, 6 months and they were unsuccessful. And at that point, they would be paid the minimum wage, or if they became more responsible in their jobs, a bit more, they would be paid every week to do the work that they'd done. And I think that I know the national citizens idea is...
It comes close to that.
Comes a little bit, they don't get paid, they're still on benefit. And there's nothing like having a real job where you take home a paycheck. I remember my first one.
Yes.
It was terrific. So I think that it was incidentally 26 shillings a fortnight when I was in the Navy. But anyway, the point is that that it would actually mean that Beveridge's original idea of making sure that anyone on receipt of benefit was actually working, or was, there were jobs there, they had to be trained to work, would finally come back. I think I would say that if 1 million young people between the ages of 16 and 24 were actually working, instead of sitting at home on benefits, they would not lose the appetite for work, and they would be a fantastic social improvement to the situation we have now. I think that the savings on the benefits and other savings because I would roll all the other schemes into it eventually, would be quite substantial. But I think the most important thing is how wonderful it would be to wake up one morning and not have 1 million young people sitting at home out of work. I think that the parents would respond positively. I think the young people themselves would respond. I know they would, because I've worked with them in the Roundhouse. We've had thousands of them there over the years, and they're absolutely amazing. And so I think that it just needs somebody to say to the Treasury, look, it may take a year or two to settle down this scheme, but just think of the benefit to our society if youth unemployment was banished from the face of the earth. Young people, when they're born, they don't have all these terrible ideas. If we can start to work with them at an early age, and that's what the Roundhouse is trying to do, and doing extremely well actually, I believe that the place could look very different. But I think that some politician has to say, I would like to be famous one day for having wiped out youth unemployment and got every one of these kids off benefit and working in a positive way.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.